What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Brian's Custom Auto. I'm your host, Brian. We're going to start out this one right off the bat with still working on powder coating the shifter to the Nanner hammock, okay? Now, I got it stripped back down again and hanging up, ready for powder coat. Because every time I powder coat this with the chrome from the Chrome, Ultimate Chrome here from the powder coat store, it did awesome on that valve cover. And that's the look I was trying to get for that shifter, but it just wasn't working. It keeps coming out more like the spray painted chrome. So with that being said, I'm going to put this in a base coat of white first. Let's spray it with the white, bake it, and then try and do the chrome after that and see what happens. Because obviously chrome just on the metal is not doing anything. Okay? So, yeah. We're going to hit it with that first. I read through the instructions on there to see if I was doing something wrong. It's not that I'm doing anything wrong. It's just not taking. So, anyway. So, let's hit it with the white and then get it in the oven. I've already got the oven preheated. All right, ladies and gents. So, we put it through the process. We started it with the white. And, well, okay, so starting over with where we started at in general. All right. We went from this regular flat bar steel that you can get here. Let me flip it over. All right, that's still upside down. All right, there it is. All right, you can get that from Harbor Freight. Okay. We started with that, just regular old flat, weldable, hot rolled steel, okay? Which means it's going to be tough. So that's why I use that for a shifter handle, all right? Now, as you know, welded it all together, got it down to chrome it with the powder coat, and it come out more like spray painted silver. So I sanded it down, started over, did it again. Second time it come out even worse. Okay? But third time's a charm, guys. I put down the Harbor Freight white, just a light coat of it in the white first, and then went back over it with a good thick layer of the chrome. Let me show you. So yeah, from right here, it looks like it might be that same color. But when you take all that light off of it, you can see reflection. Look at there. There's me in it. Let's see if I can do this. Anyway. Yep. No, it's not that by any means. But for coming from a powder coat gun, guys, that's about as good as you can possibly get for a chrome. Like, as we move around there, you can see the reflection in it. Now, I might be able to polish some out of it, too. You know. There it is. That's pretty awesome, guys. It took me 3 attempts to figure it out. Now, if you're going over a valve cover or something like that, Brian's Custom Auto valve cover like that, then you can do things a little bit differently. But to go over just cold rolled, you have to go down with a base color first, okay? Now, I am kind of curious to know what would happen if I put that over black, okay? Yes, I see that bubble I've got to get out of it, but I'm not even stressing that. I'm not even stressing that bubble, okay? But I am curious to know what it looked like if I go over black with it, so we'll figure that out. So there you have it, guys. There's a chrome powder coat. They've got some other chromes too and all that. And I know there's something to do with the tip, changing the tip. And I was reading the instructions to it. I actually did that. But it don't really give me any good information that I need. As far as like what I need to do as far as changing the tips. So I don't know. We'll play with it a little bit more and figure it out. I'll use the cheaper powder though to play with it. because $30 a pound, granted, a pound to go a long way if you know what you're doing. So now I'm ready to throw some more copper on, but that'll be on that Harley back there. So anyway, that's gonna do it for tonight, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. All right, guys, it's the next evening. We got to move the black F-150 here because I've got to have this space over here opened up. So I've got to have this whole area over here opened up because we're gonna do a thing. All right, and it's gonna come all the way over another 10 foot, which means we're gonna go get that frame right there that has that truck under it and move it to this side and then combine the two into one. Yes, I know we're gonna have this whole middle wall here is going to be extra on both of them. Okay, which means we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at least 14 poles extra, but not really, because I'm planning on going up with it more too. I'll show you what I'm talking about as we go. But in the meantime, I've got to get all this crap moved. There's way too much stuff here, and I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I'm gonna start with getting this truck moved. So let me do that, guys. So here we are. It's another day, the next day, and I'm playing mobile mechanic again. If it wasn't for family members, I wouldn't be doing this on this one, but you know, it is what it is. So what we got here is a 2003 F-150, and the starters went out. So real simply put, we ordered a starter. It's here. We're gonna go ahead and get the starter slammed in here as fast as we can. But if any of y'all know these trucks, it's gonna be a job. So I'm just gonna get right at it. I'll show you what I can when I can. Hey guys, so it's been a very long and busy day, but as you see, I'm walking out of one. Yep. Let's go around here and walk inside the other. Yep. We got this side cleaned out. Yes, I know the AC is still blowing in here, but we got rid of that other AC unit. The air compressor has to stay. I think we're gonna move that tire changer. And I still gotta get that cherry picker out from back there, which ain't a big deal. But the plan, guys, is super simple. Look at the big picture, you got just two of them together, right? Well, the plan is to take that pole there and attach it to come straight out up there. Same thing here, take that pole there and attach it to come straight out there. And then take one of those center rails like that and move it over to here, okay? At which point you'll eliminate this wall and this wall, okay? So then it's just one big giant, and yes, I know that looks bent because it kind of is right at the moment, but that's gonna give it 20 feet wide by 17 feet long, okay? Now, once we get that part done, then we're gonna take metal and go all the way around the whole thing, okay? But we're doing this because there's something coming that has to go in here. And then once we get it all together too, I might move it over that way more, closer to the concrete or to the block wall over there, which means I gotta move some more stuff. But we'll just see what happens as I get this put together. Once I get it put together, guys, I'll be able to move it some. But I gotta go through and get all the screws out of this, all these screws here out, all the way up and over and around, take the ropes off of this side. And the plastic is gonna be used elsewhere too on both of them. Hopefully, I can get the metal to do what I need to do, and that'll not only sturdy this up, but I'll also be able to drill it into the concrete on both sides. But if not, then we're going to take the plastic and go across the top, and then we'll do clear on the sides, I guess. I don't know. I hadn't figured that part out yet. But as for right now, that's the plan, is to take that, raise it up, take that, raise it up, and take one of them rails from the middle and put it in the middle over here. So there's that. That's what the plan is for right now, guys. It's rainy out here. Oh, puppy update. You can't tell it by this, but he has grown a ton since I first showed him to you guys. Matter of fact, when I first showed him to you guys, that little harness that's on him swallowed him whole. Now he's about outgrown it already in just 2 weeks. Well, guys, been a busy day. As you'll notice above my head, we have turned the two into one massive one. Yep. And it is massive. Problem is I've got to get this side over closer to that wall, which means I got to move my oil drums. And that one's nearly full, but I've got the strap hook to it. I'm gonna bring the four-wheeler around on this side and drag it down this way to where I can get to it a little easier. Let the four-wheeler do the work. That's the best thing. This might be plumb stupid, but this is what I'm doing. I'm using a winch on the front of the four-wheeler. See, I winched it out from right there, and then I winched it over this way to here, and now I've got it right up against that stopper there. Now we're gonna try and back up with it. Let's see how this works. All right, let's take the brakes off. Let's see if we can make it move. Hey, it seems to be working, guys. I just don't want to knock it over. Well, there's that. Now, winch out. There we go. Lock the brakes, winch out some more. Take it loose and then we'll try and push it in there. Just trying to go right over there with it. Need to get this stinking thing empty, but that worked pretty good. Now I got to do the same thing with that blue one and then move all my metal in them tables, and then I can get my building in there. I'll bring you guys back in just a minute. Guys, this may not work, but this one kept trying to dig in and fall over. So I put the strap a little bit lower and put the dolly on it. Let's see if this works. Hey, I'll take that. Cool, now I just gotta turn it and take it that way. All right, brakes off, turn my wheel here. Don't know if I'm gonna run over anything or not, but we'll find out. Guys, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This four-wheeler was absolutely the 110% best tool I ever got. Ever. All right, lock the brakes, pull the cable, hook it back. Cable's hooked up. Let's see what we got. All right, brakes tighter. Coming slowly, but hey, it ain't about the speed, it's about the muscle. Let's see if I can reverse it back. That barrel was never meant to have oil in it, guys. I was supposed to refill it with fuel, but obviously that did not happen. All right, let's see. Might have went too far. All right, now to get that right next to that one. Got it. I cheated a little bit. That one has both caps on it and this metal, so I just laid it over, rolled it that way, picked it back up. Now straighten out my little trench here, move my metal and my tables down this way somewhere, probably right in front of that sign or something, or right behind it, and then I can move this in. All right, guys, we got it up against that wall over there. Yes, I'm leaving a little bit of stuff on the outside, but that's because I'm not planning on bringing the siding all the way down. I'm gonna stop about midways on both sides. But it is officially up, and I have concrete I gotta pour now, but I can get to that at a later date. The reason I'm doing all this is because right in this area, right here from this door over, maybe I might have to move it over to the middle and move some of this stuff. I don't know yet. But guys, I got a lift. I got a 4-post lift. And yeah, I can't wait to show it to you guys. It'll be here in a couple weeks, so, but it's ordered, it's on its way, and more importantly, I keep asking for subscribers, and I keep hashtagging BenPak and Wildfire and all that, and because I can't get the people to subscribe, the big companies like that won't pay me no attention. So, guess what? My wife and I figured it out, and we ordered one, and it'll be here in 2 weeks. And we did it with nobody's help. So, it ain't often I ask for much, guys. I don't like asking people for stuff other than asking for subscribers, and obviously that kind of gets, well, let me see. Someone went in the comments the other day and told me it was because that's an old person thing, that only old people like cars now. I said, okay. Number 2, it's only a guy thing. Okay. And number 3, and the best one that I liked, and I agreed with them, was because I was too ugly. Or, well, no, let me back that up. Not that I was ugly, but when they said there's nobody really follows automotive channels anymore, I said, then who the hell is Cletus McFarland and Vice Grip Garage and Pole Barn Garage and all these other channels that have all the subscribers? Their response was, oh, well, they must be better looking than you. Okay, that's probably true. That's probably true. I'm not a giraffe. I'm not wall-eyed. And I don't use awful profanity. So that must be what it is. Anyway, guys, moving on from that, because that's just basement dwellers is what I call them. So that's where we're at. We've got a 4-post lift coming with the center jack. Guys, I can't wait to show it to you. I'm so excited about it. In the meantime, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do about a roof for this. I've got the fabric that came off of the 10-foot that would probably be enough to cover the top of this. Matter of fact, I know it would. So I might just do that, but I'm not sure yet. So I'll figure that out by tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. But what I really want to do is get metal roofing and do the whole thing in metal roofing to sturdy it up more. Because, I mean, guys, it's still flimsy. So if we put the metal roofing on it, that will make it way, way stronger. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. This next morning, and it's been nothing but rain for like the last week. So trying to get all this work done in the middle of the rain has been challenging, to say the least. However, we got it up. I put the roof supports in. I'll show you. I put the roof supports in right there and right there. And I've got way more bars left over from where I turned the 2 into 1. But I called this morning to see about getting the metal to put the roof on this and come down the sides about halfway, or maybe even all the way. Just for the roof on this is going to be almost $500. Now, anybody who knows me knows I don't like spending money like that. I don't. But what I do know is with the size of this thing, it's going to have rigidity. Have to. So, I think what I'll do for the time being is I've got the plastic that was on it initially. That should be a big enough piece to go across the top to at least cover it. And all the extra poles I have left over, I can put across the bottom, straight in line like the other ones are, and get those all straight and level, and use them as ridge supports or something like that. So I think that's what we're gonna do next, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I gotta figure it out as I go. But yeah, that's where we're at right now, is just getting a little bit of stuff straightened up and saving up a little bit more money to get the roof. But $500 for a roof for it isn't exactly horrible by any means. I'm not saying that, because I mean, it could be way more expensive. And I mean, for the money I've got tied up in this whole entire thing, let me see. The 10 by 17 from Harbor Freight was $200 and some, and say 280. Say 280, and then I gave $50 for the other one that I had out in the yard for just a skeleton, so there's $320. So $320 for a whole, $320 for the whole skeleton of that, for it to be the size that it is nothing. Okay, that is not bad at all. And I mean, I know it looks a little odd from here, but guys, if I want to pull a car into that door right there, I still can, as long as I got all the crap on the inside moved around. But we got room. Now I've just got to figure out where I'm going to put the lift at. Am I going to put it in the middle? Am I going to put it over here on this side, or what? And I mean, I'm probably going to have to go with it in the middle, just for the height, because I really don't want to have to raise the whole entire thing up another 3 or 4 feet. I will if I have to, but I don't want to, if that makes sense. Anyway, leave it in the comments, tell me what y'all would do. Like I say, it certainly beats spending tens of thousands of dollars on a pole barn, you know, just put a lift under. So, but that's where we're at this morning, guys. I will, as soon as I can get some sort of an update, then I'll let you know. Like, I'm planning on putting that plastic roof on the top, so we'll see what happens with that. And if I do, you'll know in the next clip. All right, ladies and gents, as you can see, my canvas top is on it temporarily. Like I say, that's fixing to be covered over with metal. But in the meantime, it's on there and it's massive. Right. It looks like it'll serve the function. Guys, if this isn't some redneck engineering, ain't nothing, okay? I mean, this is as backwoods redneck as it can come. Take 2 little 10-foot canopies to make this for a lift. We're still not done yet. See the little flaps flapping up in the wind? That's the other thing. You know how hard it is to try and put a canopy up like that when the wind's blowing? It was dead still until I pulled that out. Anyway, so on these, you have to attach it at all 4 corners, right? Well, that ain't enough, because if you don't attach the middle, which, as you can see, it's just enough difference. These should have been right here, right? Because in the 10-foot version of this, these go right down across that bottom and hook into that. Well, that didn't work. So this is what we did. We attached all 4 corners, and then down to the bottom, up to the other side. Same thing there, same thing there, same thing there, there, and there. So now it's just a guess to see if I've got it into the ground hard enough that it ain't gonna fly away or nothing. So I don't know. Let's see what happens here, guys. All right, so now that everything is up and I've got the sides done down and wind's blowing, but it still feels good. Now we got to take my barrel here to the dumpster. And yeah, again, everything in my shop is featured around doing everything on your own with no help. And I mean, I know I could holler in there and ask my son to come out and help, but I know he really don't want to. And if Lorelai was here, she'd be more than willing to help. But she's off at her granny's. So, what do? I drilled 2 holes inside of my barrel a long time ago so I could put my engine pulling chain on it just like so. And then up it goes. Sorry about the pressure, guys. It's right there. Move my dolly out of the way. Now let me go back to four-wheeler up here. And here we are now. Just kind of push that on there a little bit. Back to four-wheeler up here. I got the brake locked on just a little bit. And then we just kind of rock it back. Just like that. Kind of repeat the process a couple times until we get just on the very end of it. There it is. Now it's on there. Thank God that thing's shut up. And you just simply let your lift down. Like so. Take the chain off. Take your four-wheeler. Put it in drive. There we go. And now we can just let this guy the rest of the way down. And then it'll go back in this little hole right there. That's all there is to it. Now we take this to the dumpster and dump it. That's the way we do it at Brian's Custom Auto because Brian's always alone. All right, ladies and gents, so there you have it for this week. Not a whole lot going on. We got our lights in, sort of. You see there's enough room to put both vehicles in there. Now, I've got somebody coming to pick up that big old giant engine lift right there. That'll give me more room over to this side by a long shot. But yeah, if I'm able to fit two cars in there like that, I think putting a lift in there is going to be perfectly acceptable. So, tell me what you think about how I did it. You can do the same thing. Like I say, about $280 for a 10 by 13. So double that. Of course, prices may vary from where you're at, but you know, 280 times 2 is going to be 560 plus taxes. Figure another $620 for a 20 by 17 foot 2-car canopy. Not bad. Not bad. And like I say, guys, if you add the metal to it, I priced the metal this morning to do that much of it, and the metal to do that much of it was going to be another $500. So at the end of the day, you still come out way cheaper. If you got concrete to put it on, that works really good. But there's a lot of videos online showing people taking the 10 by 17 single car portable garage and making it a permanent fixture with the metal on the whole entire building. And what's awesome about that, you don't have to have ridge caps. You don't have to have, let's get out of this rain. It's starting to rain again. But you don't have to have ridge caps. You don't have to have none of that. If you want to mount it on the concrete, you can. If you don't have concrete or asphalt or something to mount it on, well, mount it on the ground. Just make sure you secure it to where it can't fly away. But metal roofing tin is all you got to do to make it a permanent structure, okay? And I mean, there's a lot of different directions you can go with it. This is just how I went with mine, okay? And you know, just tell me what you guys think. It's I think it's pretty awesome. So, and I think it's going to work really good with the lift we're getting. I want to thank our sponsor for the lift. Okay, y'all ready for this one? My wife. I tell you guys, I ain't the one going to push a bunch of love and stuff out like that out there, but when you find you a real one, you grab it. That woman's been a real one for me, and she's the reason I'm getting this lift. She's the reason my business is going like it is, and she's the reason I'm out here still pushing these videos, because she's been behind me 110% the whole entire way, even when nobody else seemed to think so. So I got to give a special thank you to my wife on that one. Now, that being said, I'm tired. I'm going in. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it don't change you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch y'all next week.